is that you make your saving one of your bills. Now you can decide what that is. But I don't know. Most of the people that I have discussed with and talk about budgeting and those kinds of things is that when we start working, so we make $30,000 a year, we have a certain amount of credit. So we get $30,000 credit. After you get to $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, many of the people that I don't know about you, we get more debt. Wow, I got $80,000, now I get better debt. And so we are buried in debt. And so to build capacity, you have to save. And here's the philosophy of COFED. Let's just say that you don't have that significant saving that you want. Then you start out by saying, I'm going to set aside $5. Some people may set aside $100. Some people may set aside $1,000, depending on your capacity. Once you set that saving aside, you treat it like you do your light bill. Because you're in a process of getting out of debt. Getting out of debt means that you're paying yourself as you get out of debt. If you ever go into bankruptcy court, and there are some people in here that probably know more about bankruptcy than I do, but you don't put a savings in your bankruptcy. You know, you put your bills over here, you're going to pay your bills. And so what I'm saying, the new philosophy is that we got to start making our personal saving part of our bill. So once you put that away in your savings account, once you pay your light bill, you don't expect to get that money back. So once you get a savings account, then you don't expect to get that money back. It's your savings. And once you do that, once you get your first $5, you have a philosophy that you will never be broke again. So that means that if something comes up and you have to borrow from that $5, the first time you get paid, you pay yourself first. And I know that this is a difficult concept for average Americans, like me, that it took me a long time to grow to this concept that I have squandered a lot of my blessing, because God promised me that He would open the windows of heaven and pour me out a blessing that I should not have room enough to receive. Now what happened is, I started thinking about that, because those of you that are titers, you say, you know what, where's my blessing? And then I start thinking, you know, I've squandered my blessing. God kept on blessing me. But as He blessed me, I bought more cars. I bought this and I bought that. I got this credit. And I don't know, some people pay 4% interest on things. Other people pay 10, 12, 13, 25%. So that's where all my windows of blessing went. So we want to then really begin to think about that joining COFED means that you can become a member of this movement, and the qualification is that you just have to have the mindset to save. Now, let's just assume that all of us in this room become part of COFED. So next year, or when we meet, now we have $12,000 capacity. Because what? We've taken, and it's $84 a month to save $1,000 in a year. I know you all know that, right? So you set aside $84. Next year this time, you will have $1,000. So when you come to the meeting next year, then we can begin to think about how we can fund each other, how we can do things that will enable us to fund even our own projects. And I don't want to go into our presenters thing, but you're going to get some more information about how to do that and about the technology. All right? So that's why we're here today. And I want us to become excited. I get excited. The other day I went down and looked on the floor of the grocery store, and I found myself a penny. I got excited. I did. That penny went into my savings, my pocket change savings jar. You see what I'm saying? So this is what CoFed does. Now, CoFed, there's no tax ID number. There's no dues. You don't have to pay dues. The only time you have to pay in CoFed is that you have to pay when we have seminars like this. That's the only requirement on whatever resources that you have, is that to have, and there is a fee for this. The first crowdfunding conference that I attended cost $700. But the information that I got was invaluable. My struggle has been getting the information out to people that don't know a thing about crowdfunding. Business people, professional people, and they don't know about it. I've been telling pastors that what will be the makeup of your congregation if everybody in there, including the babies, every family, said that our goal at some point is that everybody in my family is going to have $1,000. Then what would happen, let's say that the church decides to do something. Churches are corporations. And there are some pastors that are very efficient at running their corporation. So I wouldn't mind investing into that corporation. So then it becomes a win-win for everybody. The corporation get an opportunity to carry the gospel. The members that are paying into the corporation get paid back as that corporation began to pay off whatever money it borrowed. Jenny Harris called that reciprocity. So businesses can come together. And one of the things that they could do, you can form a crowd, and you can help finance whatever you're doing. And so this is what CoFed is doing. And I just wanted to bring that up first so that I would get that out of the way and for our presenter when she gets here. All right? Anybody got any questions about anything I just said?
So,
Yes.
Is this the first meeting ever by CoFed?
This is our first meeting. This is our second meeting, actually. This is our second economic development. And we did one last year at the church where I pastored, and we did this is our second one, but we did this one last year. Last year dealt mostly on how to do a budget. You know, we were teaching people because most of us, many of the people that I know don't have a budget. And no household can effectively run itself without a budget. No business can effectively run itself without a budget. No church can effectively operate without a budget. So last year we did, and we talked about how to do a budget. And I won't ask you, but how many, right now, how many of us got a budget? Amen. That's good. Because you have to operate on a budget. When we start talking about saving, and let's just say, you say, I don't have anything I can afford to save. I would rather give up at least 2 Starbucks a month to save $10. Then once I save that $10, then it becomes part of my savings. It's my money, and I'm in control of it. So when I get down to my savings, I'm broke. But how many of us that try to save, and we get down to our savings and when we spend it? So the mindset is this, that if we're going to save, and if I'm going to have to be broke, then I would rather be broke with $1,000. You see the new mindset? That once you, and then if I have to borrow for my $1,000, I know I got income coming back, then you have to what? Do what? Pay yourself back. And so at these meetings, like next year, people that are part of COFED, there will be an opportunity for them to present at the meeting. There may be a venture that someone wants to do. We have 100, 200, 300 people in that room. That's the capacity to fund a lot of things. And so that is just in this crowd. Our presenter is going to tell you about the crowd outside of this crowd and how that is going to work and benefit us. All right, so this is our second one. This is the first one with crowdfunding, and it won't be our last. And there are some opportunities that I'm just so excited about that's going to take place this day. All right. Now the second thing is, if you would take this out of your folder.
Which one's that?
This one.